and then we'll talk about where are we now, the current state of student criminalization and the case for reparations here in California and in LA County. Next slide.
Who is Students Deserve? Students Deserve is a youth-led grassroots organization that is led with the support of parents, teachers, and community members fighting to make Black Lives Matter in schools. What we want schools to focus on is decriminalizing students and stop criminalizing students and over-policing students. And we want them to invest in Black, Muslim, undocumented, Indigenous, queer youth, and the working classes of color. Next slide, please. So, the reason why I'm here talking to you today is because I was affected directly by the school pipeline. One of the policies that LAUSD has is called random search policy, random weapons policy, where students are quote unquote randomly picked out and pulled out of class, and they are asked to stand in the hallway. It's about 5 students, and they ask you to put your things out of the bag so they can go through them. For my particular incident, when I was pulled out of class, I was not moving fast enough for the person who was searching me, so they decided to take my bag from me and throw everything on the floor and rummage through it. As people walked by, I felt embarrassed and I felt like I did something wrong and I was inherently bad. They ended up confiscating my hand sanitizer, and when I asked why they confiscated my hand sanitizer, because our school really underfunded and we did not have soap or tissue in the restrooms, so a lot of us brought it from home. They looked me dead in my eyes and they told me, because you're going to sniff it to get high. Yes, I was so confused because I didn't know what that meant, and they were like, I know your type, and I spent the rest of pretty much high school trying to figure out what my type was. If it was because I was Black, if it was because I was low income, if it was because I went to Dorsey High School, which is in a predominantly low income area. And I was very confused, and that changed a lot for me, and that is what's led me to be sitting here in front of you today. And I'm gonna pass it off to Matt.
Marsha, similar to Marsha, my family actually migrated here, and I along with them when I was 8 years old. And so in that track, right, crossing the border, we were in detention 2 times at the San Isidro facility in San Diego. And ultimately, right, I think that largely shaped my experience here in the United States. And then in 2008, my brother was deported. And so I think that kind of shaped my experience to wanting to continue to support other young people like myself. And so I think one of the reasons why I partake in this work and I'm an active participant has been largely, right, to support other undocumented youth, Black and brown youth who have experience and have been criminalized, and ultimately have had loved ones be deported. And you know, also having family members experience being incarcerated, and also, right, I think working at those intersections about how our criminal policies also impact people, especially when they don't have a citizen status.
Thank y'all. So like Mal and Marsha, I also experienced criminalization as a youth, as a kid who grew up housing insecure, food insecure, and in poverty with my family. That led to acting out, as it was called at school, and a lot of interactions with discipline, as Dr. Noguera was saying, and ultimately the police. And I was incarcerated when I was 13 for assault and battery, and spent the majority of my freshman year in cells or on house arrest. Again, from things that stemmed from issues that were going on at home, right? And how the school system responded to that. Next slide, please. Oh, we actually are going to skip this one. Next slide after this one. Not only, right, do we know that our experiences are valid, we know that Black students' experiences who we work with are valid, we also know that there is significant data to back up the impact of school policing and the school-to-prison pipeline, specifically on Black students. This report right here is the Policing Our Students report from the $1 Million Hoods Project out of UCLA. Shout out to current Assembly Member Isaac Bryant, who was a lead author on this report. This report illuminated the fact that Black students in LAUSD were only 8% of the population, but were 25% of all contact with school police, citations, diversions, and arrests They were the only demographic of students that was overrepresented at all, and they were 3 to 4 times overrepresented in each of these categories